Hello, I am Peter Bush, the principal at Carliana Special School. At Carliana, we pride ourselves on delivering high-quality education through evidence-based approaches that are grounded in the cognitive science of how students learn. Our mission is to ensure that both the academic and well-being needs of every student are met in a supportive and structured environment. Our English and Maths programs follow a systematic, sequenced approach that utilizes ongoing assessment data to guide instruction. This means we constantly assess students' progress and adjust our teaching to meet their immediate learning needs. Our explicit teaching model ensures that every student is given the best chance to succeed. Our teachers work in collaborative teams, which include 2 teachers and at least 2 educational support staff. Each teaching team is part of a larger group that meets weekly to discuss student progress and identify any Tier 2 or Tier 3 support that may be required. These collaborative teams play a crucial role in differentiating instruction and ensuring that all students receive the targeted support they need to progress at their own pace. Teaching at Carliana is structured and intentional. We believe teaching is a science, and our resources are carefully selected and scripted to align with our learning sequence. Teachers are expected to follow this cognitive science-based approach to reading and learning. The results speak for themselves, with significant improvements in both reading and writing across the school. Our well-being programs are integrated into everything we do. We know that students' well-being is just as important as their academic growth, and our approach is designed to foster a positive, supportive learning environment for every student.
Back in 2019, Peter Bush had a vision that every student, regardless of their learning profile, would be given the best chance to learn to read. This vision was embraced by the leadership team, who embarked on research to identify the most impactful, evidence-based approaches for all students, including neurodiverse learners and students with dyslexia. The evidence overwhelmingly supported an approach grounded in cognitive science, highlighting its immense potential to transform the learning outcomes of students with a range of learning disabilities, neurodivergencies, and dyslexia. With this knowledge, Peter forged partnerships with some of the most respected names in the fields of cognitive science and trauma-informed instruction. These included Professor Pamela Snow, a cognitive psychologist and speech pathologist, and Dr. Anne Southall, an expert in trauma-informed practices. Under their guidance, the leadership team and key teachers undertook a rigorous 2-year professional development course focused on the cognitive science of reading and writing. During this time, Aishia, our curriculum leader, worked closely with Professor Pamela Snow on a fortnightly basis to develop a sequenced and systematic learning approach. This approach included a comprehensive suite of teaching routines based on how the brain processes language and literacy, ensuring that every student could engage with learning at their point of need. 4 years on, this commitment to cognitive science and structured teaching has led to remarkable results for our students, significantly improving outcomes in reading and writing. As the world's technology evolves, we will continuously adapt, leveraging the latest innovations to enhance teaching and learning. These advancements will be seamlessly integrated into our current routines to boost student engagement, provide more effective differentiation, and streamline assessment and feedback processes, all while reducing teacher planning time. For more information about our approach, or to gain a deeper understanding of the Sounds to Words program, click the link or copy and paste it into our Sounds to Words chatbot. This AI is equipped to answer any questions regarding the Sounds to Words structure, guide you on the next stage of learning for your students, clarify success criteria for each stage and phase, or assist with specific interventions. When thinking about the skills of reading and writing, you can visualize this as a quadrant. On the left side of the quadrant, you see the skills that make a proficient reader, and on the right side, the skills that make a proficient writer. Our Sounds to Words program focuses on the two top quadrants, decoding and transcription. Decoding refers to the ability to read the words on a page fluently, while transcription means being able to write down what someone else has said clearly and fluently. Students can have a spectrum of deficits in any or all of these quadrants. Through our systematic, sequenced approach, we can effectively target each student's individual learning needs, helping them progress in both reading and writing.
Let's take a closer look at this approach and what it means for all the staff and students at Kaliana. The first key element of our approach is the sequence, which is the backbone of everything we do. It guides both what we teach and what we assess. The sequence is systematic and cumulative, meaning that it builds on previously learned concepts in a structured way, ensuring students master each skill before moving on to the next. This simply means that learning is organized in a logical order, from basic concepts to more complex ones, so students have a solid foundation as they progress. We have sequences for both decoding and language comprehension. Let's start with decoding. The decoding sequence is made up of stages that focus on specific sets of sounds known as graphemes and phonemes. These sets are sequenced from the most basic to more complex, including digraphs, which are 2 letters representing one sound, and trigraphs, where 3 letters represent one sound. The Sounds to Words sequence is a structured, progressive program that builds phonemic awareness, grapheme-phoneme knowledge, and fluency in reading and writing. Each stage is divided into 4 phases. In Phase 1, students receive explicit instruction on phonemes and their corresponding graphemes. Phase 2 reinforces this knowledge through activities to make these associations automatic. In Phase 3, students blend sounds to read and spell words, while Phase 4 focuses on building fluency in reading and writing sentences. Students progress by mastering the success criteria for each phase, ensuring they have a strong foundation in phonics before moving on to more complex skills like sentence reading and comprehension.
The next element is the teaching resources. These resources have been developed specifically to mimic the processes in our brain. Since the 1990s, cognitive psychologists have been studying MRI scans to understand the pathways the brain takes to master the art of reading. Reading is not a natural process for humans. It is a relatively new skill in the course of evolution. Therefore, students, particularly neurodivergent learners and students with learning disabilities like dyslexia, need to be explicitly taught these processes in a systematic and explicit way that mirrors the brain's cognitive pathways when reading and writing. At Kaliana, we have worked closely with Pamela Snow, a cognitive psychologist, to create learning activities and routines for teaching that follow these brain pathways. These teaching resources are available on our soundstowords.org website. Each resource includes video modeling of the activities and is fully scripted to ensure consistency in how the teaching is delivered. By following these routines, we are helping students practice the exact steps the brain takes to decode words on a page, ultimately increasing their chances of developing strong reading and writing skills. The next element is the teaching resources. These resources have been developed specifically to mimic the processes in our brain. Since the 1990s, cognitive psychologists have been studying MRI scans to understand the pathways the brain takes to master the art of reading. Reading is not a natural process for humans. It is a relatively new skill in the course of evolution. Therefore, students, particularly neurodivergent learners and students with learning disabilities like dyslexia, need to be explicitly taught these processes in a systematic and explicit way that mirrors the brain's cognitive pathways when reading and writing. At Kaliana, we have worked closely with Pamela Snow, a cognitive psychologist, to create learning activities and routines for teaching that follow these brain pathways. These teaching resources are available on our soundstowords.org website. Each resource includes video modeling of the activities and is fully scripted to ensure consistency in how the teaching is delivered. By following these routines, we are helping students practice the exact steps the brain takes to decode words on a page, ultimately increasing their chances of developing strong reading and writing skills.
Another part of this approach is collective efficacy. Teachers in our school work in collaborative teams made up of teaching groups of similar age levels. These teachers share a planning day to enable collaboration. These groups of teachers are called collaborative teams. At the end of each semester, the collaborative teams review assessment data to make decisions about their Tier 2 groupings. Tier 2 groupings consist of students who are working on the same stage and phase of our decoding and transcription sounds-to-words sequence. Once students are organized into their Tier 2 groups, teachers work with these students daily from 9:10 to 10 o'clock each day, using the sounds-to-words teaching resources tailored to their learning profile. To ensure students' needs are met, teachers meet once a fortnight with the curriculum leader, who facilitates these meetings using a formal, staged, and continuous improvement cycle. This cycle is designed to promote ongoing reflection and refinement of teaching practices, much like the PLC, Professional Learning Community cycle. It helps teachers systematically review formative data, set clear learning goals, and design targeted learning plans for the week ahead. These meetings also help identify students who may require additional tutoring. All these decisions are made collaboratively, and students can move groups if the collaborative team identifies that their current group does not match the formative data that has been collected.
By committing to a systematic and consistent approach, you are giving every student the best chance to develop the essential skills needed to become proficient readers and writers. Every student has the right to learn, and it is our collective responsibility to ensure they are given the opportunity to reach their full potential. By providing this foundation, we empower students to pursue further education, secure meaningful employment, and engage fully in society, shaping their futures and contributing positively to the world around them.